university teachers for further capacity building on research and technology in different Indian IITs and universities. These areas show a clear manifestation of Indian support to African continent, and we are grateful of the unreserved support. Chairperson, Excellencies, High Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to seize this opportunity to make a brief remark about my country, Ethiopia, before I speak about Africa at large. Ethiopia, geographically located in the Horn of Africa region, adjoins Africa's northern rim with the Red Sea and Indian Ocean. Ethiopia is the second most populous country in Africa with a population of more than 100 million people. Today, Ethiopia has built strong and the widest possible consensus among the leadership and the entire people of Ethiopia for political, economic, and social transformation. Good governance and the building of democratic institutions are being dependent year by year. The country's GDP has been grown with a two digits for the last 15 consecutive years. This for sure will uplift Ethiopia's GDP at PPP into the fourth largest economy in the African continent in a very near future. Chairperson, Excellencies, distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Ethiopia, being aware of the critical role that development of infrastructure, energy, and agriculture contribute to the transformation of the political economy of the country and to the integration of Africa, has placed the development of these sectors as the strategic pillars of this economic development strategy since the last decade. The government has been investing heavily from own resources and by mobilizing resources from international partners for the development of the energy sector, roads, railways, and irrigation. The agriculture sector, of course, will continue to be the engine of growth till the industry sector plays key role in economic development and the country's economy being transformed to industrialization. The governments of the IGAD region and other African regional economic communities similarly have committed themselves to the development and interconnection of their infrastructure. We are all convinced that interconnection of our infrastructure, power, roads, railways, and telecom will pull the continent together towards market integration and sustainable development. The construction of the Addis Ababa Djibouti Railway, for example, is a flagship project for regional connectivity. The interconnection of the IGAD countries and railway and highways as well as power systems will be a step forward toward the economic integration of Africa. Allow me to mention some of the opportunities and challenges that Africa would do business with India and the global world. Opportunities are the economic growth of Africa has a comparative advantage to foreign enterprises, including Indian enterprises. With its high working population and untapped natural resources, there is a lot that Africa can offer for the Indian enterprises. Large population for global market access. Most of African governments have put in place the right policies and legal framework to facilitate and encourage investment and trade in their respective countries. Rapid growth of the African economy that can shoulder part of financing infrastructure projects, promising progress in regional connectivity to enhancing trade and investment, a positive response from development partners regarding the financing of infrastructure development projects, extra. Some of the challenges to mention: poor infrastructure that impairs regional and global trade expansion, lack of modernized taxation system and inefficient customs and logistics services, lack of skilled human power and modern technology, high investment costs for infrastructure development, lack of good governance and strong public institutions, rampant corruption in some African countries are some of the challenges the continent poses. Chairperson, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Africa has been successful in developing its infrastructure in the power sector, the telecom network, roads, and railway networks over the last 2 decades. On this occasion, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all our traditional partners for their invaluable support and partnership in the area of infrastructure development. Among them, India is one of those. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite financiers, design and engineering firms, manufacturers of railway and energy system equipment and machineries, institutions and research and development centers specializing in modern agriculture and agro-processing. In the coming weeks and months, we African missions here in Delhi look forward to meeting those of you who are willing to further explore the business opportunities that exist in our continent, Africa, with the determination and solidarity to overcome challenges together with the people of Africa, as Africa is the nearest uh, continent to India. We ask the Indian investors to explore and see all those opportunities which may exist. I thank you. God bless our two nations.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for a very concise and valuable statement. I'm sure there would be some comments and questions on it later. I shall, in the interest of time, now take us to the next stage and request Shri Dinkar Asthana, Joint Secretary in MEA, to make his presentation, and I would request all the panelists to take a maximum of 10 minutes so that there is some time for discussion as well. Thank you.
Distinguished panelists, distinguished members of the audience, I'm privileged to be here to have gotten an opportunity to speak before you. I'll mostly talk about the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, which is the flagship program of the Government of India for extending capacity building to other countries. And this is a very old program. Now it's over 5 decades old. It was launched in September of 1964. And but even before that, since her independence, India has been extending capacity building or sharing whatever it could with other countries, including those of Africa. Our philosophy of India in this regard has always been to, even when we did not have much to share, much to offer, to share whatever she could in a spirit of solidarity, in a spirit of South-South cooperation. India still, as you know very well, India is not a developed country. India is not a traditional one of the traditional donor countries. So India does not look at itself in our self-image. We are not an aid giver. What we offer is in a spirit of partnership and solidarity and a sense of sharing, whether it be capacity building, whether it be grant projects, or whether it be lines of credit. It is our signal that we wish to work together with Africa, with the countries of Africa for mutual benefit. And indeed, one of the hallmarks of South-South cooperation is, apart from solidarity, sharing, lack of imposition of any policy conditionalities, it is also mutual benefit. So it is within this framework that India extends all development cooperation to other countries, and of which Africa forms a big chunk. Africa is one of the more priority areas, apart from neighboring countries. The ITEC program was formally launched in 1964 on a small scale, and since then it has grown organically, and now it extends to 161 developing countries, mostly developing countries all across the world, and to all African countries. And the training that we offer is that our philosophy has, through the ITEC program, is to share India's developmental experiences, the experiences that India has acquired over 7 decades and more of her on the developmental path. And we expect many of our experiences, much of what we have to share, to be relevant to other countries who may be also going along the same on the same trajectory. And so the courses, and it is for this reason that it is mostly the training that is offered at premier government institutions, which form the centerpiece, which are central to the ITEC program. The ITEC program, it is not for students. It is for government servants and other working professionals who may be nominated by the concerned governments. So it is conceptually distinct from the scholarships that India may be offering to other countries, or to students coming here to study. Although some of this may be relevant in those contexts, also some of the considerations in ITEC may be relevant in those contexts, but these two are quite different schemes. The capacity building that we extend through the ITEC program is to working professionals, it is to government servants, and indeed we demand 5 years of work experience in the particular field in which you are applying to get trained. And then we now offer, and the courses that we offer are mostly short-term courses, ranging from 2 to 8 weeks or 3 months. One or two courses, even one or two courses which are 2-year courses, like at MTech courses at IIT Roorkee. But apart from those courses, all others are short-term courses. And the fields that we cover now, they have also been added organically over the 5 decades. They range from financial management, general administration, entrepreneurships, small and medium enterprises, then project management, then healthcare management, and English courses are in great demand, especially from the countries of Western Africa, which are not English speaking. And rural development courses, we offer courses in rural development, we offer courses on WTO issues, we offer courses on cyber security, on agriculture, on urban planning, things like remote sensing and other space applications, on fisheries. We even offer courses for parliamentary staffers and on parliamentary issues. And other areas that we have started covering is areas like climate change, renewable energy. Like at the International Solar Alliance Summit, PM announced that India would be giving 500 slots to ISA member countries. So it is through the ITEC that it is being implemented at the National Institute of Solar Energy, and indeed one course is currently underway at that institute. And the other issues are that we also offer customized courses. We are quite happy to organize customized courses on the specific requests of concerned governments, whether it be, for instance, we are doing a course for Cambodia on a customized course on for drug officials. We are doing similar courses for countries of Africa on their specific demand. Some African countries have also asked for us courses on issues up and downstream areas of petrochemicals and petroleum, which we are offering now. So the ITEC program, it is basically a government to government program. The nominees are nominated by the concerned governments, and it is handled through a portal through which the applications are accepted and then sent to the concerned institutes with the consent of the concerned country government. And it has been a good success over the years. And last year we offered about 3,500, 3,700 or so training slots were utilized by African countries in different courses, in more than 300 courses, ranging across all these fields. And we hope to increase this program, the ITEC program, in the years to come. The budget is available and is receiving a considerable amount of attention from at the top level. Outside of ITEC, there are also similar courses, especially in agriculture and many other fields. They are offered through the India Africa Forum Summit. But again, these courses are also at premier institutions, and from the point of view of capacity building, there's really no difference whether for a recipient country, whether it is offered through ITEC or whether it is offered through some other forum of or mechanism of the government of India. But on the whole, especially for Africa, capacity building is receiving a lot of attention from the Ministry of External Affairs, and with the full support of all the line ministries who are responsible for those institutions. In the ITEC program, we have added good institutions like IITs, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, to offer courses in areas like artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, robotics, etc., which are finding good takers. So we hope to increase